I'm Charlie Watson. I'm 18. Today, actually. Is the Beetle for sale?
It's yours, kid. Happy birthday.
Premier spin-off d'une série de films destinés à étendre l'univers de Transformers au cinéma, Bumblebee fait office de préquel et raconte comment notre Autobot préféré a débarqué sur Terre au beau milieu des années 80.
Oh my god. What are you?
Si Michael Bay reste producteur de la franchise, il cède néanmoins le poste de réalisateur à Travis Knight, transfuge du studio d'animation Laika, à qui l'on doit le formidable Kubo et l'armure magique. Celui-ci a d'ailleurs bien conscience qu'il doit se démarquer de l'ombre envahissante du grand Michael.
My philosophy and my own visual style is very different from Michael's, and the only way I could be a success in guiding this film is if I was able to bring that to the process. I was fortunate that Michael and the studio and the producers all supported that idea. They wanted to tell a different kind of story within this great universe.
My heart right now is going crazy.
Moins chargé en scène d'action homérique, Bumblebee mise avant tout sur le cœur du récit, à savoir la personnalité très attachante de la jeune Charlie, interprétée par l'excellente Hailee Steinfeld, mais aussi sa relation avec sa nouvelle voiture transformable.
You sound like a little bumblebee. I'm gonna call you that from now on.
Une relation que Travis Knight et l'actrice Hailee Steinfeld s'appliquent à rendre plus personnelle, afin de lui offrir une véritable résonance auprès des jeunes spectateurs.
I came of age in the 80s, and so, when I was, crafting, shaping the movie, I went back to, my childhood, my experiences there. I think that with everything I've done, you always put in part a part of yourself in it. The way I look at film is that it's real life wrapped in metaphor. In order to make something that resonates with other people, it has to resonate first with you. And I think part of that is that the more intimate, the more personal you make something, the more universal it becomes, the more people see themselves in it.
She wants to be her own person. She doesn't want to conform to any certain behavior just to fit in. But she more so struggles with feeling misunderstood by those that are closest to her. And her femme there, I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to feel, misunderstood, or like you're on some different wavelength, or, the way you think is so different than the way somebody else thinks. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think once you realize that, that's the turning point. And luckily she comes to that.
Look, people can be terrible about things they don't understand. If they find you, they'll probably lock you up in a lab somewhere. It'll be bad. Trust me.
Et pour trouver le cœur du récit dans un film aussi technique, l'expérience de Travis Knight dans le domaine du cinéma d'animation n'a pas été de trop et semble même avoir été particulièrement appréciée par les comédiens.
There! Get down there now and flush that thing out!
You want to talk about somebody with an imagination. Could see the movie before we filmed it, knew exactly what we were doing. And on top of that, had a great relationship with us. Sometimes someone working with inanimate objects through stop animation or just animation through drawing maybe not would have that skill. He does.
It's amazing. Maybe the coolest thing I've ever done.
Having cut my teeth in stop motion, there is a physical aspect of it that you don't find in any other form of animation. And so there is a kind of a natural weight. There's natural physics to the process of creating life out of in stop motion.
When physical contact had to be made, when there was a touch of the face or a hug, they had built this sort of head and shoulders of Bumblebee so that I could make physical contact with something. And if it wasn't that, it was a tennis ball on a stick, which was very interesting to talk to for a couple of months.
Bringing that kind of physicality was something that was important for me in this film because these things don't exist. They're created in a computer. They're ones and zeros. But to make something feel like it had weight, like it had tactility, you could touch it, you could embrace it, you could connect with it. That was something that was really important. In order for the emotional relationship to work between the robot and the girl, you have to believe that he's real. And that comes down to, obviously beautiful visual effects work, but also beautiful animation, beautiful acting on the part of the animators.
It was wonderful to see the whole thing come to life at the end when I saw it for the first time. I was so happy that everything made sense. That was insane.
Petit bonus non négligeable pour les bourrins que nous sommes, le Marine John Cena met de côté les nombreuses comédies dans lesquelles il a excellé ces dernières années pour revenir à la castagne de ses débuts, et ce, dans un rôle de méchant ou presque.
It was extremely interesting, and you're right, it's kind of wading into antagonist. Wish I could have gone the full Monty, but hopefully that's enough for another day.
Plus modeste et enfantin, mais néanmoins très attachant, Bumblebee s'inscrit dans la continuité de la franchise Transformers, tout en portant la marque de l'auteur de Kubo et l'armure magique.
Oh, I'm good. No, I'm good, thanks.
C'est un exploit qui mérite d'être salué, d'autant plus qu'il n'était certainement pas aisé de passer derrière les explosions toujours plus mouse de ce bon vieux Michael Bay.